here in Shenyang, and I'm at the Rogers K-Rock Center to see the Kingston Frontenacs take on the Oshawa Generals, and you are watching Post to Post.
Hello and welcome to Post, the channel where we discuss all things hockey and all teams. And a couple of days ago, I tweeted out to you guys asking for questions. And ask me anything. Didn't have to be hockey related. Could have been personal. Could have been work related. Could have been anything. Vacation. Anything you guys wanted to ask me. I gave you the opportunity, and I got 59 responses back as I'm making this video. I'll do another one in the future because there seems to be a lot of interest. So with the 59, I'm going to try and get through them as quickly as possible. So if I read your question and I speed through the answer, it's not because I'm not interested in your questions, just because I'm trying to get through them all. There's 59. I'm going to go through 159. This should be in basically the order of who asked the question first to who asked the question last. So the first question is from Mika. And it is, what is the last metal record you listened, and of what is your favorite of all time? Only asking because of all those band shirts you wore in your older videos. And say hi to your dad. He seems like a cool dad. He is a cool dad. So your first question was, what was the last metal record I listened to? Probably would have been Dystopia by Megadeth. And what is my all-time favorite album or record? That's a really tough Mika, that's a really tough question. I would say, like, I don't know, like Master of Puppets in '86 was really good for like old school Metallica. But I think Number of the Beast by Iron Maiden in '82 would probably be my all-time favorite album. Yeah. Next question: gas or wood fireplaces? Wood, 100%. Always wood. The smell of burning wood, whether it's on a campfire, in a fireplace, in a furnace, there's nothing that matches it. It's amazing. Patrick asks, what's wrong with the Hawks this year? Consistency and structure, in my opinion, or system. I like the lineup on paper. I like the core. It's the same core that's been there for a while. I don't like the coaching system, or the coaching structure, I guess. I just think it's time for Quenneville to move on. Maybe some of the others to move on as well. I think they just need a new, fresh face behind the bench. Next up, Shane asks, where is your dream vacation? I love cruising, like cruises, whether it's in the Caribbean, regardless of where it is. I just love being on a cruise ship. There's just something about it, just being in the middle of the ocean, and at midnight you can walk up to the top of the deck by yourself, feel the warm breeze in your face, and it's just something so peaceful about it. I've never felt more peace than when I was on a cruise ship. I know that sounds kind of strange, but yeah, it would be my dream vacation would be on a cruise ship. Blake asks, what is the single unsung hero that you would recognize this season in the NHL? That's tough. I guess I don't know if he's really an unsung hero, but Gerard Gallant has kind of structured the group of misfits in Vegas and created the chemistry with the team. He's a player's coach. He gets along with his players really well. He's not really technically an unsung hero, but he is an underrated hero. He doesn't probably get the credit he deserves so far, and I have a feeling that he's going to get the credit once the Jack Adam is announced after the playoffs. Nicholas asks, realized my question had already been answered in a video. Do you think Boyle gets the Masterton this year? Yeah, definitely. The fact that he has come back and is now playing so soon after the stuff that he had dealt with in the offseason and just the terrible news that he got, he has really overcome such a hurdle. So I don't know how he doesn't get the Masterton this year. John asks, have you or do you still play hockey? If so, what position and levels? I played competitive hockey back when I was in my late teens, and I don't play hockey currently. I want to play in a beer league, but there's just no available room on teams here in PEI at the moment. And what position? Yeah, I played left wing, primarily left wing. A couple years I played center. But yeah, I spent a lot of time on the left wing. Chase asked, why doesn't your mom appear in any videos? You don't have to answer if it's personal. Also, what do you think of the Atlanta Thrashers? Considering they're not a team anymore, I guess I don't really have any opinion on the Atlanta Thrashers. I like their logo. I like their jersey. I don't think Atlanta will ever get a team again. And why doesn't my mom appear in videos? She's camera shy, and she doesn't really follow hockey that much. So, Brandon asks, If you didn't like Montreal, what team would you like? San Jose. Matt says, which NHL arenas have you been to? I've been to the Bell Center and the Air Canada Center. That's it. Chris says, ice hockey is finally on the rise in the UK. Yes, it is. If money wasn't an issue, would you ever watch any matches over here? Absolutely. Not only would I go to the UK and watch hockey, I'd go to Sweden, I'd go to Finland, I'd go to Slovakia, I'd go to Australia, I'd go to Mexico. Any place that had hockey, I'd go watch it if I had unlimited money, for sure. Would you rather be stuck in a closet for 8 hours with Paul Romanuk while he's screaming random things, like what he does during broadcast, or the Swedish food thing from Mail Time that neither of you could stand the smell of? Definitely Paul Romanuk. I have a really, really queasy stomach when it comes to smells. I can look at the most disgusting thing and it doesn't bother me, but just the smell of something just really destroys me. So definitely Paul Romanuk, unless he smelled like that fish stuff. Who's your Calder front runner? Besser, Barzal, or McAvoy? I like McAvoy's game as a defenseman. He plays a lot of big minutes. Brock Besser is unbelievable, but my choice would be Barzal. He's just been, to me, above and beyond everyone else. He plays the center role, and he plays it so well as a young kid. It's just amazing. Louis says, what do you spend a lot of time doing when you're not watching hockey? Making videos and on YouTube. I don't, I'm not a big, partier. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs, I don't gamble. Whenever my friends and stuff go out, we just sit around and play Cards Against Humanity. My friends drink, but I don't, but we'll go to trivia, something like that. So if I'm going to go out and do something, it's probably just going to be to hang out and have some fun. Go to a movie. I'm wearing a Star Wars hat. I really like watching movies. Netflix. Photography is my ultimate passion. If you guys have any interest in watching or seeing any of my photography, you can go here on my Flickr account. I post pretty much everything there. Anything good, that is. There's way more bad than there is good. So, what else do I do? I think that's probably it. I'm not a very interesting person, so. Nick says, are you into any other sports besides hockey? What else do you do for a living, work-wise? I don't really watch any other sports really that much. I'll watch some NBA playoffs. I'll watch some MLB playoffs. I'll watch some NFL playoffs. But as far as regular season games in any of those sports or any other sport, nah, you won't watch me. You won't be seeing me watch any of those for sure. Yeah, I just follow hockey. What do you do for? What else do you do for a living? Yeah, your second question. I worked for a company, an e-learning company, and had a really good job. It paid well. Unfortunately, they overspent developing a new platform, and they had to downsize. Fortunately, I was part of that downsize. So I lost my job last year. I've been working really, really hard trying to find a new job here on PEI, and it's been tough. There's not a lot of good work out there, but I've been working really hard, and I have my fingers crossed that something's going to come up in the future. But unfortunately, I am unemployed, unless you consider YouTube employment. Top Shelf Hockey says, what places have you visited outside Canada? What places would be on your bucket list to visit in the future? Keep up the great vids. Thank you. Bucket list: Australia, England, Sweden, Finland, Alaska, Hawaii. Those probably would be my top. What places have I visited? Every state on the eastern seaboard: California, Mexico, Belize, Jamaica, Haiti, St. Kitts, St. Martin, St. Thomas, Roatan. Basically most of the islands down there in the Caribbean. I really like cruising, so that's the main reason. Ryan, Super Bowl prediction. I've got the Eagles winning 24-21. I would never make a Super Bowl prediction. I just don't follow football enough to make an accurate or legitimate prediction. I wanted the Eagles to win because I'm sick of the Pats winning, but after seeing what the Eagles fans did to the Minnesota Vikings bus when they left, I don't want either of these teams to win, to be honest, so I really don't care who wins at this point. I am going to watch it, though. Kyle says, what genre of music do you like? I'm kind of all over the place. I go through phases. Sometimes I listen to house trance music. Metal. Used to be heavy into metal. Not so much anymore, but still do. Listen to In Flames. Still listen to Megadeth. Trivium. I do like country music. I hated country music for the longest time. Probably from the age of like 1 when I couldn't even speak to maybe around 26 or 27. I hated country music. Now I kind of like it. I'll actually, when I like on my truck, when I go to anywhere, country music is the radio station I listen to. Actually, yeah. Otherwise, I'll listen to classical music sometimes, which is kind of weird to say, but yeah, I kind of go through phases. I like Silver Sun Pickups, City and Color, Megadeth, In Flames. I'm just kind of all over the place. I don't know. Favorite NHL team broadcaster, Patrick wants to know. I don't really watch a lot of local team broadcasters, so I actually don't think I can answer this question. I don't have a favorite because I'm not familiar with them all. The Sports Girl asks, what is your favorite thing about where you live? So I live in Prince Edward Island. Great question. I was born and raised in New Brunswick, but I currently live in PEI. There's just something about Prince Edward Island that feels more like home than New Brunswick ever did to me. I can't really explain it. It's small, but it's kind of feels big at the same time. When you go out to the grocery store, you don't see the same people all the time. But there's times when you do run into people that you know, so there's that aspect to it as well. But even the people that you talk to that you don't know, you kind of feel an islander yourself, even though like I'm not an islander, but that there's times where I feel like an islander just because of the way that how people are so nice, and you kind of get that small town vibe. Like I was at the dollar store a couple of weeks ago. I like to get mini M&Ms. That's my favorite snack. And there's a guy who works behind the counter, and he's that typical Canadian islander accent kind of guy, and very talkative. So I walk up to the counter, and he's like, "How's she going, bud?" And I said, "Pretty good, yeah, pretty good." And he just talked the ear right off you. So he just goes on and goes on and goes on, and he's asking questions and stuff. And the most typical like Islander Canadian maritime question you can get from someone is, "Who's your father?" I got that question. I couldn't believe it. I actually got that question. It was awesome. And I said, I'm not from the island and stuff. And he had a few more questions, but yeah, it was it's just an interesting place. You're so close to everything. I mean, I'm 10 minutes from one beach, and in my opinion, the best beach in the province is 20 minutes away. The summer here is incredible. The traffic isn't that bad. When it is, it's frustrating, but it's still not that bad compared to so many other places in Canada. The people are really nice. The only thing I don't like is that it costs me $46 to leave the province if I want to drive. That's really the only thing, but otherwise I just love the small town aspect, but also kind of the big town aspect as well. There's the movies are 15 minutes away. Everything is just so close. There's so many places on PEI that I haven't even visited yet. Like, it's not like New Brunswick where there's just a couple of main places that you go that are really pretty and great places to visit. On Prince Edward Island, there's so many, like, just hidden gems. It's unbelievable. And I've got lots of pictures on my Flickr. If you have any interest, you can go check that out. It's just a beautiful province. There's so many amazing beaches, so many amazing lighthouses. I highly recommend, if you have any interest in visiting Canada, please visit Prince Edward Island. We were voted one of the top 10 islands in the entire world. So tourism is huge here. So definitely come visit. Justin asks, have you ever practiced karate in the garage? Multiple times, Justin. I have practiced karate in the garage, and I also have a drum kit in my beat laboratory, and don't touch it. When did you first start playing hockey, and how good were you? First started, I think, at the age of like 4, maybe, something like that. I was never the best player on the team, ever. I don't think, maybe 1 year, we had weird years where we didn't have enough to form a team, so some of the players the same age as me went up a level, and I went down a level because I was smaller than everyone else, so I played down a level, and I was the best player on the team that year, but only because I was older and had more experience. But no, I was never the best player on the team generally. I was always usually the second or third best player. Growing up, Dad always gave me a toonie, or $2, every time I got an assist, and a loonie, or $1, every time I got a goal. So really, he really instilled in me the good habit of being a team player and passing the puck, and that kind of stuck with me throughout my entire hockey I was going to say career. It's not, I do not have a hockey career. My time playing hockey. So I was always a setup man. I was always the Thornton on the ice, the forecheck, the guy who was making the passes. I had a lot of fun being the playmaker. I was never much of a goal scorer. I didn't really have that great a shot, so I was always the person passing the puck. So I wasn't really that good, but I had fun. That's the main thing. Tanner asks, besides hockey, which other Winter Olympic events are you looking forward to seeing? Bobsledding. There's just something about these crazy buggers that get in this little metal tube that go down this other ice tube thing, and just like 130 miles an hour or however fast they go. They could die at any second. There's just something like it's like a car accident. I can't take my eyes off the screen. It's amazing. Some of the skiing stuff is interesting too. Other than that, I'm not usually big into the Olympics that much. Knowing your distaste for the All-Star Game, do you have a similar response to award shows, Grammys, Oscars? Yeah, ain't nobody got time for Grammys or Oscars or Junos or whatever. I hate all the celebrity gossip and stuff. I just think it's a waste of time. I don't pay attention to any of that stuff. I could care less who won what as far as that stuff. So, yeah, I just have no interest in that stuff. If you were burying a time capsule, you could only put 3 items in it to tell the people of the future everything they needed to know about Neil. What 3 items would you put in it and why? Well, this is hard. I know this is kind of breaking the rules, but I would put in a picture album, and inside the picture album would be pictures of all the things that I like. The second thing would be one of those tubes with a snake in it, that when you open it, a snake flies out and it scares people. I really like when people get scared. It's kind of a hobby on YouTube to watch people get scared. It's very entertaining for me. The third item, I have no idea. A post-to-post sticker. Heck yeah. Shane asks, what do you find to be the most difficult part about doing a channel that covers all hockey? 2 things I would say. It's not the trolls. Most of the time they make me laugh, and it's just easy to block them. The most difficult things are 2 things. Number 1, the people that are overly biased of their team. Like, sometimes I'll say, like, the most insignificant, barely negative thing about a team. Like, I really wish that they'd pass the puck more, or I'd really wish that they'd just dump the puck instead of making passes at the blue line. And then someone will come in and lose their mind and defend their team until the end of time and just, like, be really rude and offensive. Just so overly biased, people who wear blinders and just can't take any negative criticism of their team whatsoever. That's annoying. The second thing would be, it's not really a negative thing, it's just sometimes it gets a little overwhelming. Talk about this team, talk about this, do this, why aren't you talking about this? I can only make so many videos in a period of time in a week. Sometimes there just isn't enough of substance from a team to talk about it. So there's just sometimes I just don't make videos about stuff because, number 1, there's not enough to say, and number 2, I just don't want to. So I'm sure there's fans of teams who watch this channel who think that I don't talk about their team enough. There's 31 teams, I only have so much time. So just be patient, and hopefully there's some content on the channel that you like. Next question. Dream destination to watch hockey abroad? This is tough. I would say Australia. Mainly because I think it would be a great place to visit, just in general, just to have a vacation, and it's just the most kind of unnatural place that you'd think that there'd be hockey. So I'd probably, yeah, that'd probably be my dream destination. Although, why does everything in Australia want to kill you? Spiders, scorpions, kangaroos, jellyfish, magpies. Okay, maybe not that last one, but yeah. I don't understand why everything wants to kill you in Australia, but I don't like that. Carter asked if there was one former NHL team you could bring back, what team would it be and why? The Nordiques, because I like the colors, I like the logo, and I think it would create a lot of awesome rivalries back in the league. Producer guy Phil, Arcade Regiment. Heck yeah. What would your rating be in an NHL video game? Very, very low. My passing would be high, my skating would be high. Every other stat would be like 0. Yeah, it'd be very bad. Alfie, who's your favorite player ever? Saku Koivu. There's not even anyone even close to my love for Saku Koivu. He has been and probably will always be my favorite player of all time. Gina asks, which player do you see earning the Rocket Richard Trophy this year? Would it be a surprise, like a new player earning it, or someone like Ovi or Kucherov? Ovi, I really want Ovi to win. I love Ovechkin. I love Ovechkin. Yes, he doesn't back check. Yes, he's lazy, but there's just something about his personality and his goal scoring ability. I really like the guy. I hope he wins. I'm kind of running out of time here, so I'm going to split this into two. This will be the first video. I'm going to ask this last question, and all the rest of the questions are going to be on a second video, either later today or tomorrow. I haven't decided, but keep an eye out. So the last question, what's your favorite hockey movie? This is tough. I don't know how I could say anything else other than the original Mighty Ducks movie. It was just a thing of beauty. But there's something about the movie Mystery Alaska. If you guys haven't seen it, please go watch it. It's really, really good. It's just a really special movie. It's got a great story. Highly recommend it. So I'd probably say that one, actually, Mystery Alaska. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. I answered 32 questions. I'll answer the rest in the second video. I'll do this again in the future, probably maybe in a couple weeks or a month from now. Let you guys have the opportunity to ask me some more questions. Had a lot of fun doing it. I love hearing what you guys want to know, and I don't mind answering any question you have. No boundaries. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say that. There's definitely boundaries. Be clean about it. Don't ask me any dirty questions. But yeah, ask me anything on Twitter. I'll do it again, in about a month. So thanks, guys, for watching. I appreciate it. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you are new here, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.